Good morning, guys. Good morning. This is a little bit different for me. I'm actually starting at Sean Stevens' house this morning because we're actually finally changed the oil in his car after, I think he said 3 or almost 4 years. I know. We'll explain a little bit more once we get there. I'm driving the MR2 right now because since he's got his 4-banger, I'm going to drive my 4-banger because it makes sense. Plus, the Supra is still having that vibration issue. Not sure what that is still. Gonna find out. I checked all the motor mounts again. We'll figure that one out. But we're gonna change that. We're gonna do the not the head gasket, but the gasket goes around the valves. We're gonna do a couple things today. I'll show you guys all that step by step. If you guys don't remember, he has this beautiful black Eclipse GSX as he pokes his head down there. So yeah, we're gonna go get oil here and start working on this thing. Let's get a cold start here. So quiet. All right, guys, let's get in the car. This is the first time I've ever got video of this car actually rolling and moving too. It's always parked at my house, so I think this is the first time Sean's gonna have a video of it rolling too. His brake lights don't work right now either. That's why I'm following him, guys. That's another issue to mention that. It's another issue we're gonna try and adjust. There's a bunch of things we're gonna try to address today. Sean has 2 young boys that he doesn't get much free time, so we're gonna try and knock out as much as we can. All right, guys, so I got Sean in the car now.
Hey, what's up?
As you saw there, we drove out. So now we need to go get oil. We're gonna go to Walmart because that's what kind of oil do you use? Do you know the weight?
Don't even know. I haven't changed it so long, so.
Fuck me. So now we gotta look that up online. I'm assuming it's like 10W30 or something normal. I mean, obviously they're gonna have it there. We'll just get like Mobile One. The car's not built or anything, stock motor, it's stock everything for the most part. It doesn't need any crazy oil. It just needs the fucking oil changed. And like I was saying earlier, guys, I told you it's been like 3 years, but the man has 2 kids. He barely gets to drive the car. He does everything himself. His kids are his life, so it's a little bit different. He's just a good old dad. So, all right, we're gonna go ahead and get to Walmart here and find the right oil. Walmart? Yeah, we're going into Walmart with the camera, guys. You know how awkward I am about this stuff, so Sean's never done this, so yeah, we're at Wally World. God, the best place in America. Sean found his oil right now. Now he's got to scan it, so we need to know what the price is. Uh-oh. Oh, it's still cheap, 25 bucks. I was telling him my oil is like, I don't know, 30 bucks a quart.
Yeah, I'm cheap.
I'm very cheap. That is a successful trip to Wally World, and he got a Monster. Come on, he got his Monster. Where are we going, bro? We going to this one, that one? You gonna hold my hand? Enter. Oh my God. As we're walking outside of Walmart now, just look at it. Just would you look at it? It was fun driving, just being behind. Your car is so loud, by the way, with the open wastegate. I was like, holy shit.
It smells terrible.
Oh, dude, you could. As soon as you ripped it, I was like, whew. I was like, man, now I know how people feel about my car. I was like, God damn, that's stanky. Ugh. Only thing it does suck, his car at least has cup holders. You know, that Toyota Life, 90s Toyota Life, no cup holders. What's good? I know Auto Extrude's coming up with one that comes out of here. I'm sorry, it comes out of the vent, which is okay. I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of that because I like my heat in my vents. But I digress. Let's get back to the house and let's start changing this oil and all this other shit. So he doesn't even know where the jack points are, but let's start off here. So we've got our 10W30, we've got Valvoline for that. We've got new spark plugs for the car. He actually has a new Goretti. This is the stuff he used to go to Carlisle car shows back in the day. He bought all this stuff there, right? I think that's where he got all of this. Back when they had the big import show, and they do, but this is old school, back when it was really, really big. This is a Goretti drain plug with a magnetic tip on it. Goretti oil filter, which I didn't even know Goretti made oil filters. He got some dress-up hardware we're gonna install, and then we have the gasket for the valve covers. Yes. That's slightly leaking here. So we're gonna get up in the car. We're gonna figure out where the jack points are here real quick first. All right, so we got one side up right now. He's putting the puck, that I call it, so you don't mess up the frame rails on it, and he's going to jack up this side right now. You got it?
It's bent right here.
Oh, it is? So then move it up a little bit one way or the other. It shouldn't matter. I was just trying to get it so it's a little bit more even. As long as you get it there, you'll be fine.
Not good.
You good? Once you get it lined up, then you can get up. I jacked up the other side for him, but my chest is still killing me from being sick from having this sore throat and head cold. Good. All right, now you can put that pipe on and you should be good. All right, we're trying to get his oil cap off right now. Did I break it loose? Yep. That's how tight that bitch was. It's been too damn long, Sean. And I think these have, oh no, you have the pressure release style. Good Lord, I've never seen one that tight. So like this is just like the Supra then, it like clicks so far and pulls off. Like that's a screw type. This actually is like almost like a radiator style where it clicks so far. Weird, but all right, that's off. Now we can drain the oil out of it. He built this car back in the late 90s, so if you guys are old like me and Sean, well, Sean's older than me, but still, Hayami. Look at all this, and this is all billet, like this is solid aluminum too. You can see the machine marks. This is heavy aluminum, and it's everywhere in here. He's got this new speed bar in the back that everyone supposedly wants. Custom radiator, open dump for the wastegate. Pretty mean, love it. We're both crawling under the car here. I want to show him a few things I found already. If you crawl back here, we've got some leaks, which are normal. I mean, this car's old. We've got here from the drain, here from the turbo drain. It's leaking some. It looks like the gasket needs replaced there. Not a big deal. It's not dripping yet, so it's obviously not that bad. But one thing I noticed here, if you come back here, Sean, your axle boot's ripped. You see all the grease slung out of it? So you need to replace your axle eventually. See if this side's doing it. Nope. This side's perfect. Just this side. that side. Now I'm gonna scroll myself back here. His exhaust looks pretty good. Drive shaft, slight leak, but again, 25 years old. That's not even remotely bad. My MR2 leaks way worse than this does. Whoever put this exhaust on was retarded. They put it on backwards, but that's fine. That's fine. I'm not judging. I'm not judging too much. Let's get back here to the rear diff. This is a GSX. Nothing, no leak, not even a drip of leaks back here, bro. Nothing.
That's good.
Perfectly mint back here. 25 years old and mint. Most of these cars have severe issues. His car is clean as hell. Very, very, very impressed. Diff is in good shape. The bushings are in good shape. I mean, yeah, you're good to go, bud. Here. All right, guys, so I'm gonna jump under here and break this bolt loose. It shouldn't be that bad. We'll see. It's warmed up, so the oil should all come out. This is bigger. So your new bolt is 14 mil, but this one is 16 that's on it, so something's different. Been a minute, you can tell.
Just a little bit. There it comes.
Yep. This is why I wanted to hold it and do it myself.
I was going to suggest that.
Sean's taking off the covers right now. The old Hayami. We're going to replace the gasket here on the valve cover. We're actually going to drain this catch can, which he's had since ever, and he said he's never drained it, so I'm kind of interested to see how much fluid's in it. It's also wedged against all this wiring, which has me a little concerned. Let's see if there's any. Nope. Oh my God, dude, look how fucked it. These wires are overly long too, and look, right there is going to cause detonation issues. Crimping the wire like that's not good. You want a nice smooth. And anyone tells you otherwise, fuck you guys. It's bullshit. It's not. Your wires shouldn't be crinked and clacked like that. It's a good way for it to break. I'm not a big fan of MSD wires as it is, but he's going to replace them here. We're going to do spark plugs today. Wires will be next. But all right, go ahead and finish taking off the rest here. Pull this off. This should just have a filter on it too, because that's going in the intake. Look how much oil's coming out of that. And that's going into your intake back into the turbo. There's a bunch of stuff we're gonna diagnose today. This is the whole point today. We're just trying to figure stuff out, see what needs fixed or what could be fixed. All right, so Sean's got all the bolts off here. I'm actually getting out the spark plugs, which are actually not cranked down that tight at all, which is good. Most people over crank these things. I always do. I never use an impact on this kind of stuff, not even to remove, because you don't want to strip the head. And luckily I have the tools that actually hold the socket when you remove it. It has a little rubber O-ring inside of there. These are old school NGKs. I've used this only on Fords before for their spark plugs. The new NGKs use a smaller 14 millimeter. I'm actually using, I think it's like a 5/8 or something like that. This thing's not focusing, but yeah. So I've got to get the last out, and I'm marking down a piece of paper over here via which ones I'm taking out, so we can check it and see if the gap's right and see if it needs to be re-gapped or any issues. The thing I wanted to do here, guys, I have my bore scope. I wanted to check each cylinder because this car, like I said, has been sitting for a little bit. I want to see if there's any detonation issues, if he had any problems. Looking at the spark plugs here, all 4 spark plugs look golden. Typical, a little bit of white at the top, brown, golden. Everything looks good. The gap actually looked like it was good. The spark plugs are just old, so we're just putting new ones in it just as pure maintenance item. Just weird. See how big the heads used to be? The heads now are much, much smaller. Just to guess a different style, I guess the way they do it now. If you look at it though, they're just slightly different. These are NGKRs that are in there. I guess these are NGKR too. These BK7R. These are BKR ES, 8 ES. I don't even think they make these anymore. So maybe that's why. It's been, like he said, it's been a long ass time since he's done it. We've got the bore scope here. I'm trying to move it all around. It won't even show up on the screen here, but trying to see if there's anything, any damage. But from what I can see so far, everything looks good. I've got the light on its brightest setting and I don't see any marks. This came in handy. I actually dropped a bolt down in there, I should say a washer down in, turned the car on top of it. Yes, that's right, I turned the car on. This was a long time ago. And it made some nice noises. Thank God it didn't mess it up when I did take the head off a year later. Didn't screw anything up, thank goodness. But yeah, this thing is a lifesaver for that kind of stuff. Sean, we had a little bit of an issue here, bud. So we had to crush this to get it off it. I actually am very happy. Kind of like the MR2, this is actually quite easy to get off or reach, but it was on there tight. Those guys must have just wrenched it the hell on there. So I had to get some pliers and crush it off. But we've got the new one here, so we're gonna take the oil, rub it on here because this is dry right now. You don't want that. Rub some oil in there, put it on by hand, crank it down just a little bit. No wrench, no nothing. We're gonna hand tighten it there, and we should be good. We're looking at the belt right now too. So far from what I can see, the belt actually looks like to be in good condition. For being the original, I'm quite impressed. No crazy slack or anything. I am gonna go to get down here, put a wrench on the crank and turn it so we can inspect the entire belt. But as of right now, it looks pretty damn good to me. He was super worried about it, but I don't think he has anything to be worried about. So yeah, we're gonna continue working here and hopefully get this done. Do you need something to pry that off with, or? We've got to take that hose off. What's it used? What kind of head is that? I guess we put a flathead in there, and if we get a flathead over here, and the flathead working that? Yeah. Oops. Here, I'll let you do. I'm trying to hold. I'll let you try and do it here, and there we go. No?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, that hose is off. Everything else is good. All right, now try pulling that off there. All right. All right. There we go. I'll make some room over here for you. Yeah, just sit it down like that. You're not gonna hurt anything. You got oil. You can wash yourself off. Looking at the head here. God damn, like he hasn't changed the oil, guys, in 3 years, and this head is so goddamn clean on this thing. This blows my mind. Now this car only has 70,000 original miles on it. The cam seals, everything else looks golden on it too. I am beyond impressed right now, like extremely impressed. This is awesome. So that's good news for us. All right, guys, so we got the valve cover off here. We'll replace all these seals here, so we got to pop all these off, which are pretty stuck on there. But the one area where it was leaking was right up front here. You can see where it was pressing past it or pushing past it. We're going to replace this entire seal, these ones here. I want to make sure if there's nothing, because I mean, it's not just laying in there, it's like glued on. I don't know if they use...
It pops out.
I want to make sure, have you done this before? Have you replaced it?
Yes.
Do you put any RTV or anything on it?
I don't think I did that.
Okay.
So it should just come right out.
All right, go ahead and start pulling this off. Make sure. Yeah, I guess it is coming off pretty easily. And like you said, like this is so much better, guys. Like unlike the Supra and the MR2, the actual bolts actually hold the seal down too. That's probably why it doesn't leak as bad as Toyotas do. So that's actually a pretty good method. And it comes with these other seals too for the cams. That we'll have to install here. These aren't for it. These little blocks here we'll have to install too. All right, guys, the longest thing it took us here was actually rerouting this catch can. It was sitting here crushing these wires, and it's been like that for 15 years. I didn't like it because it was eventually going to cause this problem. So you can see how tight this is, and now that we have this moved over, it really was pressing against this the whole time. So we moved it over here. There was an open hole here. Yes, it's tight still, but there was an open hole here. It's not hurting anything. Now we're going to put on the valve cover. See if it goes on nice for us. Come on. Now you're gonna have to get it under this. Okay. Yep. Now make sure we look golden. Now we just need to put all the bolts back in and tighten her down and put the plugs in and good to go. Good to go. That wasn't too terrible, and we gotta put oil in it. Yeah, don't forget that. We gotta put oil in it. That'd be something dumb we would forget to. Sean's tightening up the last bit here and we're done. It's not too terrible. That catch can was by far the worst part, but everything else was not bad at all. Sucks it started raining here. I wanted to get my MR2 back out. Hopefully it dries up quick. I wanted to get the MR2 back out here. I want to get some video of both the cars together. It was not supposed to rain today, but Mother Nature had other plans for us apparently. He did take the PlayStation out of it. It no longer has the PlayStation inside the car. He took a lot of the Indiglo gauges off the center. He does want to replace the gauge centers here, but you have to take the needles off and stuff, and he's a little worried about that. He has a ton of SPW gauges that need to go also. You know, this is stuff from the late 90s, early 2000s that was cool. Same with the shifter. There's just little things that need to be removed, but nothing too terrible, nothing that can't be reversed. All right, guys, so we've gotten all buttoned up here. We're gonna open the garage door. I'm gonna have him turn it on while it's up on stands. I just wanna check for any leaks or anything. Let me get a flashlight here. We're gonna check for leaks or anything. All right, go ahead and start it up, Sean. How's it idling? Is it okay? Huh? Is it firing right? Turn it off. Something doesn't seem right, does it?
What's it still out?
That hose is there, that hose is there. Guys, I think we had the firing order backwards here, so took the cover back off. We wanted to check the firing order. He has aftermarket wires on it, so they're completely uneven, as you can tell, so we didn't know. Sean, go ahead and start it up. There we go. Firing order was just backwards. Now let it idle for a second, make sure everything's okay before we put it back down. Is it idling normal or no?
Yeah.
All right, just let it idle there for a second. I'm gonna check for any leaks or anything. This is normal? I'm just making sure everything's normal.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure. You know your car, not me.
Yeah, I'm not driving that much.
Just looking at it here, looking for any leaks. Sounds like it has a slight exhaust leak also, from what I can hear. Trying to take a look here quick. So we solved the last issue here now, guys. His taillights were staying on. I got underneath, and the little sensor that actually hits the brake pedal, there's actually a little black piece that goes on the pedal itself. It must have broke, so all we did is move the sensor up slightly so it's hitting the button that turns the brake lights on or off. So now they stay off and they turn on when they're supposed to, which wasn't that hard to fix, but hey, it's an issue we had and now it's solved. The roads are starting to dry up here. This should be good to go. So back down the ground now, guys, all fixed. We had the wires messed up there at first. Then we had one of the vacuum lines were undone here to the actual head for his catch can. It's not much of a catch can. That's the first time you've ever emptied it, right?
Correct, yes.
And how long has it been on there?
Maybe 7, 8 years.
Okay, 7, 8 years. He's never emptied it, and it had like as little as I can, as maybe an inch or two of fluid in it. So he doesn't drive it that much, and that little bit this shows you're never really gonna have to empty it, but I'm glad we did. There's really nothing else left to do here. Brake lights are fixed. Just little random things we have to do in the car, and we'll have it ready for Cruise Week because this man's going with us this year. It's gonna be freaking awesome. Super excited for that. When's the last time you've been to Cruise Week?
Never went in my life.
Oh, look, we've got a virgin over here. We've got a virgin. He does not, I cannot express this enough of how awesome this event is. If you guys don't know what Cruise Week is, just go look it up. Ocean City Cruise Week. I know everyone talks about H2O. They have the fall one that's right after it. Spring Cruise Week, fuck H2O. That's where real fast cars go, like just tons of racing, tons of actual quick cars. There's stuff that's cool at H2O also. There's probably more Japanese stuff. There's a ton of Japanese cars also at Cruise Week. They just tend to be fast Japanese cars versus slammed and cambered and all that shit. But yeah, you guys need to go to that. It is freaking amazing. I'll be there in the Supra. We'll have the GSX there. Bulk will have his RSX. The OG Zilla will be there. Everyone will be there. It's gonna be freaking awesome, guys. Don't wanna miss that.